Okay, let's talk about one of the most common and frankly most frustrating sleep mysteries out there. Why is it that so many of us wake up smack in the middle of the night at 3 a.m.? In this explainer, we're going to get into the surprising biological reason, and I can pretty much guarantee it's not what you think. You know the feeling, right? Your eyes just snap open, you roll over, look at the clock, and yep, there it is, 3 a.m. again. And it's not just you. It feels like your body has this bizarre, unwanted alarm clock set. But what if it's actually trying to tell you something really important? We always assume it's about the stress of the day, right? That email you forgot to send, or some other worry bouncing around in your head. But what if the real reason has less to do with all that, and more to do with something happening deep inside your body's energy system? The answer is probably not what you've been told. So let's look at this through a new lens. Let's call it your metabolic alarm clock. This idea takes us way beyond the usual suspects of just stress and anxiety and pulls us into some really fascinating biological territory. So, on the one hand, you've got the common belief. It's all in your head. It's just stress, a racing mind. But on the other hand, we have this metabolic cause. This suggests something totally different, that your body's own energy management system is the one sounding the alarm. So, how does this metabolic alarm actually work? What's the mechanism? Well, let's dive into the science behind something called the cortisol-glucose connection and really unpack the biological chain reaction that's at play here. Okay, so when your eyes pop open in the middle of the night, what is actually happening at a biological level? What is the trigger? Turns out, it all comes down to a process that's both completely natural and, in this case, just a little bit disruptive. The key concept here is called the dawn phenomenon. Now, it's a completely natural, early morning increase in your blood sugar, or glucose. And this isn't random. It's driven by a programmed spike in hormones like cortisol. Yep, the one we often call the stress hormone. So, you have to understand this sequence of events. First, your adrenal system kicks into gear. That triggers step 2, a big spike in your cortisol levels. That cortisol spike then signals your body to release stored sugar, which leads us to step 3, your blood sugar rises. And what happens when your body detects this sudden surge of energy? Yep, step 4, it wakes you up. And that is the key takeaway. You're not waking up because of a bad dream. Your body is literally waking you up to say, hey, we've got an energy situation here. There's a surge of sugar in the system that we need to manage. So the waking up isn't the problem. It's your body's response to the problem. Okay, so now that we understand the mechanism, can we do something about it? Well, the good news is there's a potential nightly solution that works with your biology, not against it. So, based on the source material, here's a simple 2-part protocol to consider. First, vitamin D3. The idea is that this might help calm down the adrenal system. That's the starting point of the whole cortisol spike. Second, nutritional yeast. This is suggested to help stabilize the brain's stress and fear responses, which are really closely linked to cortisol. So the idea is to tackle both the hormonal trigger and the body's neurological reaction. So the whole strategy here is preventative. Instead of fighting to get back to sleep after the alarm goes off, the goal is to calm your systems down before they even have a chance to trigger that cortisol and glucose spike. And this really is the core shift in perspective. Once you stop seeing this as just a sleep problem and start seeing it as a metabolic rhythm issue, the potential solutions look completely different. It really opens up a new way of thinking about your body and your rest. And that leads us to our final, pretty provocative question. You know, we often think about diet and exercise as tools for managing our weight or energy during the day. But what if the way we manage our metabolism has a profound, direct impact on the quality of our sleep? What if by reprogramming your metabolism, you could actually reprogram your sleep? It's a fascinating idea to consider.